So tell me about that song. What's the origin of that song?
Yeah, so that song means a lot to me, honestly. It's called First Real Girl, and truthfully, it's about my ex-girlfriend. And it's all real. It's all true. Everything, you know, that talked about in that song is exactly something that happened or something that I felt. That's if I'm being honest, that's the first girl that I've ever loved, and it's the first girl that ever loved me back. Like, and so I was in a relationship with her for about 3 years, and you know, I have some perfectionist tendencies sometimes, and we were just not perfect, and I think that over time that made it so you know, we just kind of had to end things, and after we broke up, I started to want to get back into writing again. I hadn't written a song in a couple years, and I know for me, music, like when I'm sad, I almost like listening to sad music because it kind of lets me get my emotions out. And another thing I like doing is I like writing because I have all this inside, and it's like I don't want to post on social media. I don't want to, you know, bother my friends, I guess. And so I was just driving in my car, listening to some beats of a producer that I used to work with, and that came on, and I was just like, first real girl, and I was like, oh man, let's go. And so I just kept working with it, and you know, some of the things I talked about, you know, she had a really good relationship with my mom, like we kind of became like family together, and so it was really hard for that to, you know, go away, and we created something together. We were a fantastic team, and so as I go through that song, like it really makes me kind of feel all the emotions that I felt when I was with her, and you know, how much I loved her and how good we were together, and how real she was. She was a real ass person. She grew up in environment. She was raised like super religious. She kind of got out of that, got shunned by her family for a little bit, made it on her own, works in like construction, like grinding, like worked her ass off, man. And so I always had so much just respect for that. And she's the type of person that just like everybody loves, like surrounded by her energy. And that's why I called it the First Real Girl, because it's like sometimes I have problems just like with commitment, with committing 100% to something. I don't want to fail, or I don't want a relationship to fail. So I've tended to stay away. I've tended to be scared, to shy away from a relationship. And that was the first girl that just kept me coming back. And I was like, damn, I can't get enough of this girl. And so that's pretty much how, you know, that song came about.
You told me when we were picking out your wardrobe, you told me that shirt had some significance also. What was that?
Yeah, man, so we took a big step together in our life, and we decided to travel the world together. It unfortunately ended shortly, you know, due to us splitting up. But we were in Mexico for a couple months, and we were in Guatemala for a couple months. And we were just in a store in Guatemala. I was like, I want to get like a traditional shirt. So we were looking, and she's like, oh, I think that one will look good on you. And I was like, I don't know. And she's like, don't worry, I'll get it for you. So she bought me this shirt. And so I kind of felt like as I was performing that, it might bring out a little bit more emotion. There's some real significance behind this. Like, we just have so many memories together, and you know, it's sad now, but you know, it was a great learning experience just for me, and being in relationships with people, and how to communicate with people, and how to accept people, and how to unconditionally love people. And I know sometimes I didn't provide that, and I know she provided that to me. And so I hope I'm wearing this in her honor almost. I hope it's not like a weird thing. I hope it's an honorable thing.
So, and in closing, tell me, if someone wants to get in touch with you, how can they find you and your music online?
Yeah, of course. I think The best way to find my music is Spotify, Apple Music, all the standard ones that anybody uses. My name is Anthony Phillips with a period at the end, 2 L's in Phillips. I'm not very popular, so it might not come up right away. But if you do type in like Anthony Phillips, First Real Girl, that would pop up with this song, and then I have a bunch of different work out there. And social media wise, just on Instagram, it's just my name, Anthony Phillips, with 2 underscores. And I'm happy, I'm out in LA, I live in Venice, and I'm happy to collaborate with people and kind of just have fun with this, man. Like, that's what music's about, is getting emotion out there, telling stories, and having some fun.
Thanks so much for coming by.
Thank you.
All right.